You're listening to the AFTERBUZZ TV Network, now the largest new media platform on the web, and your #1 source for after-show entertainment.
Very good, Dean Johnson.
From the AFTERBUZZ Studios in Los Angeles, California, presented by Maria Menounos and Bing.com, and streaming live thanks to Akamai Technologies, this is AFTERBUZZ TV's Defiance After Show. We'll break down tonight's episode and get you all the latest news and gossip. And now, another post-game wrap-up show for your favorite TV show. It's AFTERBUZZ TV's Defiance After Show.
Hey everybody, Bing is for doing, and we are doing another Defiance After Show. I am Matt Lieberman, and joining me as always are the fabulous and wonderful Scott Moore.
What's up, everyone?
And the intelligent, the talented, the rakishly good-looking Mr. Nando Velasquez.
Just looking around. So
Yeah. Were you looking for another Nando Velasquez?
Looking for another Nando Velasquez in his room.
Yes. This is the season finale. Everything is broken. It's our last episode of Defiance for the year, and I'm stunned because I know it feels like just 12 weeks ago. The three of us just Scott and I at first, but it's
brought together.
Such a short season. It's already gone.
Yeah.
It's gone.
Yeah.
New show, new possibilities.
I know. Lots of stuff happened this week after a really, really strong episode last week. We got a lot of movement on the Kolovan front, which wound up being keys to a Votan ship. We're gonna get into that. A lot of deaths. A lot of potential deaths, we don't know, and a bold new direction for the second season, which appears to be in play. So I would like to start at the top. Just let's go right in with Nolan and Irisa. At the top of the episode, Nolan and Tommy are looking for Irisa after she escaped last week, trying to catch her younger self, who actually turned out to be Urzu herself. What gods are real, guys?
Yeah, I was like, whoa.
Yeah.
Mind explosion in here.
I thought it might be a Ghost Luke situation.
Yeah, I did too last week.
But
I was not expecting that.
Apparently, it's a real thing.
Yes. It's a
real god.
Yeah, Urzu's real, which makes me wonder how many of the Votan gods are in fact real, A, and B, the cult that implanted the silver knot in Irisa believed in a wholly different god. That was a multi-Votan god. So how if the devouring mother, the destroyer, is the weapon of Urzu, how did it get co-opted by this other faction, this cult? That's a lingering question I have.
Well, it's definitely a question that may get answered
next season. Next season.
But yeah.
Leave it dangling out there until next year.
Exactly. So we Nolan and Tommy find Irisa with Rin, who was real.
Yes.
In fact.
Another one where I thought that seemed very random. Didn't think she was real either.
But the real Rin, and they're hovering over Sukar's still comatose body. Apparently Nolan just knows everything that's going on. He and Doc Yule had like a nice big, exposition chat before he went to go find his daughter in between this episode and the last episode. So he knows about the ship underneath Defiance that has this great weapon.
Votan ship.
Yes. What was the name? It was with a K.
The Khazari.
The Khazari.
Yes.
Yes. The Khazari, a special ship that was sent here 3,000 years ago.
No, that was kind of impressive to think about that long ago.
Well, okay, this show takes place, what, in 3043?
In 2046.
2046, whatever. Okay, 2046. That works a lot better.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Sorry.
Wow.
I'm sorry, everybody. But here's the thing. So if it was 3,000 years ago, that means it was what BC? It was 1046 or
something like that.
Something like that.
It was before Christ. It was BC.
BC, that's what we're saying, 1,000 something.
Right. So I'm just trying to think what big events happened, maybe 1,000 years before the death of Christ. that might
North America though there was
maybe.
no the dinosaurs were
no, but there was nothing in North America because it hadn't really, as far as we hadn't. There was no North America wasn't really known at that point in time. So,
but like the dinosaurs were like millions of years ago.
Yes.
Unless, of course, this show takes on a Christian philosophy that evolution isn't real and that everything that happened in the Bible only happened a few thousand years ago. That's an entirely
I think that's a whole other
different
story right
it's
there.
An entirely different story. I'm getting ahead of myself. But it's interesting. We've got them there, and Sukar, is he alive? Is he not? Was he a vision, or was he suddenly awake at the end when he kind of looked like a samurai warrior without his traditional top hat?
I'm thinking maybe he was awake after she got the power there. Maybe.
Yeah. We still don't know the nature of these powers.
Yeah.
Because it's mostly visions attacking people with the knots she now no longer has because she dumped the knots into the Kaziri.
Yeah.
Right. I feel like this whole episode is going to be speculation, so I'm just going to keep throwing stuff out there.
Yeah.
Okay. So Nolan is tragically, fatally wounded in the shootout, right? That when he goes to try to rescue
Against Black Jonah.
Irisa against Black
Black
Jonah,
Jonah.
who's just a
Jonah
weird
Keller.
guy.
Yeah.
He's a weird
He's
guy.
very weird.
Like he's not quite playing it as like, offhandedly menacing or like, like I am above caring menacing. He's just kind of strange.
Yeah.
And he gets away, so we'll see him again.
I know, that's what
You
I'm
know
saying.
what it
We're
is?
introduced
He's too
to
young.
him now.
He's too young.
Yeah.
He looks too young to be this expert interrogator for some reason.
Yeah.
That's right. He was the expert interrogator.
Yeah.
Yeah, he delivered
charge.
that like opening monologue
Yeah.
so matter-of-factly. I'm the expert interrogator.
And I don't look a day over 25 too. It's just, I just felt like next to everyone else with authority seems to be a lot older than him. And then this young guy's like, I like to torture people. I'm an expert.
Well, not anymore now that Colonel Marsh is dead.
Yeah.
Yeah. But when Irisa she says Nolan, and she has a whole flashback of every time that she and her father have ever hugged. And then she jumps into the machine, and her chain reaction happens, and then Nolan comes back to life.
Well, that whole thing too with Urzu there.
Yeah.
It was like she basically said, "I need you to be my weapon."
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay.
You need to be my weapon.
She just needs to give up everything by becoming her weapon.
By becoming her weapon,
Yes.
and she has to make a choice. I will show you the first step, but the second will be your own. And it's been alluded to that this is something that will kill every Votan or every human, right? Now, when she revived Nolan, what I'm wondering is that her choosing humanity over Votans? And since it brought him back to life, now I'm wondering, since we had other human deaths in this episode, I wonder if they all came back to life. And we haven't seen it yet. So, like, for example, Kenya, who touched the poison bottle, the bottle with the
bottle of poison on the outside of the bottle.
So sad.
The bottle with touch poison on it. Okay.
Touch poison.
Touch
I like
poison.
that. I like that.
Yeah.
Touch poison.
No, that's like my favorite thing now. Of just like if anyone just mysteriously dies
Yeah.
in any scene, it's just gonna be like the poison was in the walls. The poison
was in the music.
The poison was in my gaze. But I'm wondering if she's alive and Colonel Marsh is alive and all those soldiers are alive.
Yeah.
And like any human who's ever done wrong at Defiance, including potentially like Kenya's ex-husband, are all suddenly alive again. I know that's like a huge stretch.
It
is.
It's a huge stretch.
It is.
But we like a lot of crazy stuff happened.
But
this
you're right.
week.
This is. I mean, it's a huge stretch on one hand, but on the other hand, we're talking about
Defiance
here, so anything's really possible.
Yeah. What do you think, Nando?
I think that Nolan would be the only one affected by this whole thing. I don't think it's not like Superman, going across the earth a couple times and turning back time. I think it directly affects Nolan, because that's what Irisa wants. And as this person with such huge power, I believe she can do that, but she probably can't bring back to life everybody that's died in the past 10 episodes and then some.
Yeah.
I think that would be just a little too unexplainable.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and maybe she can make Amanda be mayor again. I don't know. But,
I don't know. But I'm just saying, like, in doing that, you know, she's made the choice to become the weapon, and I'm wondering if she's made the choice between human and Votan, or if that is a choice that remains to be seen.
I think it's a choice that remains to be seen. I think she doesn't even know yet what her powers are of this weapon.
Right.
Until we get into the next
we
season.
don't know. I mean, it's
that's what I'm saying.
confusing
Like,
as all heck.
I think we'll find out along with her, but I think it's gonna be one of those things that
jump in a ravine and
that she'll have to come to her terms with this power too. It's not all known to her at this very moment.
If she survived. Well, I'm guessing she survived.
I'm guessing she survived.
Yeah.
Marissa Serafini, our amazing engineer, has also watched the whole season.
Yeah,
she's a big
caught
fan.
up.
Yeah, I love this show. It's so good.
Yeah. I want to know what you think in activating the Kaziri or jumping in. Did that activate the Kaziri? Is she making the choice between human and Votan? What do you think happened?
I think, yeah, she made the choice between human because the last word she said before she jumped in was Nolan.
Yeah.
And so that just reinforced the human aspect that she wanted to save. So, yeah.
All right. I agree, personally. I think that she chose humans, and then ultimately it's going to backfire, and there's going to be another Pale War. Okay, guys, fine. I have an imagination, and my inner child is alive.
I like it.
I love it.
I like it.
I just don't think she's made the decision yet of realizing. I think she still has to come to terms. That's all I'm saying.
Okay.
But with that power, she was able to bring Nolan back.
But I don't think the humans are all the humans who died in the past are revived.
Fine. You know, yeah.
And Sparky, the dog that was alive in episode. I don't know.
Yeah.
There's no Sparky.
Although I will say maybe there's a hope for Kenya, but it could be another way around it. Like maybe this poison on the bottle was just a Castithan thing, and maybe it doesn't totally affect humans. Maybe Stahma thought it would affect a human, but it really doesn't. It just puts her to sleep for a while, and then she comes back. She wakes up.
Maybe. I don't know.
I don't know.
Hey,
I can't stretch my imagination too.
I know. It's just like the touch poison bottle. My imagination only stretches so far. It like I liked that scene.
Oh, I love that scene.
It was a very good, tense scene, and they were both really great in it, and I liked that it kind of like their whole relationship this season. I love that you can't quite know on the face of it who's really telling the truth.
Yeah, and everybody's motivations you think you kind of know, and then it ends up being something completely different.
Yeah.
Like last week, it was a completely different kind of feeling that Stahma was giving out, and then it turned around again in this episode. So it's just kind of like this back and forth, and Kenya as well. It's just been a very bizarre relationship to try to keep up with. But I've loved it.
I loved it.
I've loved that kind of give and take.
I'm sad to see it.
That's what I'm saying.
Gone.
That's what I'm hoping Kenya will still come back, even though
for different reasons.
Well, hey, Stahma made a point, and we don't know if this is her lying again, or I think this was actually a bit of truth. Well, just like, you know, it was the first time that I had explored a relationship with someone outside of my Lero, and it was exhilarating. So maybe she ain't done having a little fun. You know,
and I do think that was the truth.
Wow.
I do think that was.
I think it's the truth too. But why go through this whole? Just get her out of town. Get her out of town. You don't have to touch poison her to get her out of town.
No.
She was already on her way out. She was practically on her way out.
Yeah. Well, because it's Castithan law.
Yeah, and I think she was. I think she was rightfully scared. Yeah. If she didn't do what she had to do, what Daytalk would do.
Oh yeah.
You know?
After.
So I really do think that it was out of a fear too, of like thinking she had to do what she had to do.
After he threatened to open her up.
Gut her
public,
alive in front of everybody.
Which, like, he figured that out because they had standing sex and
with
then
their clothes on.
And then Kenya said you should keep an eye on her, and he like made a connection. Wait a second, I have standing sex with my prostitute.
Yes, and it was the same way. Oh my goodness.
Yeah. Which
Stahma must have slept with her now.
Yeah, which like imagine if she hadn't slept with Kenya and he made that accusation and was suddenly like, you have to kill Kenya because I think you're getting her sex tips by doing her. Which is just like, if that was what it was, you'd say that was crazy.
You liked what Stahma did. Why don't you let her learn some more first?
Because it's Castithan law, Nando.
That's gonna be my answer to everything now too.
Yeah.
If you don't like my answer, it's Castithan law.
Okay.
Sorry. So I gotta do
You
it.
don't like pickles on your sandwich? It's casteth in
You
law.
have to.
Yeah.
Can't argue.
You can't argue with
No.
casteth in law.
Hmm.
I'm wondering about Nolan and how his character will change from this experience. Being dead and then suddenly coming back to life. Like this whole season has been him, he denied for a long time that Irisa even had these visions, let alone believing in some kind of higher power, especially an alien higher power. And now that same higher power saved his life.
Well, and I also thought it was interesting that he realized that it happened too.
Yeah.
As soon as he got up, he said, "Irisa, what did you do?" And I thought, first of all, he actually realized that he had died or whatever and come back, and then he knew, that she had done something. So I thought that was kind of interesting too, how he automatically had awareness about that.
He sensed it.
Yeah.
He sensed it.
So I'm wondering how that's going to play into the beginning of the next season as well.
When you're pretty sure that you've died,
Yeah.
because you stop breathing and your mouth's full of blood and you're in extreme pain, and then all of a sudden you wake up where you were
and you feel
fine. And she's not there. How many possible?
Well, I know, but it's just the fact that he had that realization,
Right.
That he knew right away that it happened. I don't know, because it's not like many people could say, "Oh, they've died and come back," and they know. That's what I'm saying. It was interesting how he kind of already knew right away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I found that fascinating.
So Daytak is now the mayor. We had our election, which got wrapped up pretty early.
Yeah.
In the episode.
Do you think he won legitimately, or do you think he rep?
No.
No,
right?
Well, but it was interesting too, because we knew from the episode, last episode, about the fact that they were stuffing the ballot boxes.
Yeah.
But then even he was saying to Stahma, which I thought was interesting too, about there's a chance that I might not win this thing. Was he saying that because he really was legitimately concerned?
Yes.
That's what I was thinking. Like,
Well, I think it's just winning was so very important to
Yeah.
him because he'd put himself out.
but if he thought he was going to have the ballot box, being stuffed and everything, then he knew he was going to win. So I was surprised that he actually said that to Stahma, like, "Oh, we may not lose, we may not win this thing."
I don't think that he stuffed the ballot boxes. I think that he won legitimately.
Well, they were
all the
saying they made it
Votans.
seem like with Colonel Marsh the week before. Remember, in that whole episode, made it sound like they were planning to do that.
Surely
They-
you got
they said,
some stuff.
yeah, they made it sound like he'd already.
No, but that was
already won.
like an insult. That was like an offhanded comment. Yeah, he set up this like masterful, dirty trick to get the town on his side. But
Which
I
was
think
brilliant.
right.
And
but
why isn't that Castathan law? Why is it always convenient? Castathan law is very convenient to whatever Daytak wants to do.
Of course it is.
That's all I gotta say.
Well, he's Castathan. He's allowed to. It's a flexible, pliant law.
Got it.
Nando.
It's a
Okay.
pliable law.
I feel like the only laws don't disrespect me. That's Castathan law.
That's
Yeah.
Castathan
where
law
that's where
right
it comes
there.
down to.
Yeah. But I think that he won through legitimate voting practices. He just made sure that every Votan in town got out the vote and that they voted for him. And he wound up winning. It was relatively close.
Yeah, a couple
relatively close
Couple
election.
hundred.
Yeah, but I was expecting. I mean, what we talked about last week. I expected basically they were leading us on to believe that he was going to win,
Yeah.
but I didn't expect it to go as quickly as it did with the direction it went in.
Yeah. But now, so now he's mayor, and he's killed Colonel Marsh. After Colonel Marsh basically said, like, "Listen, buddy, you're our puppet."
Yeah.
You realize that, right?
He called him an uppity little
Haint, which was like such like clear racism mapping.
Yeah.
Like the word uppity, especially. But he's like, dude, yeah, we're gonna pay you. You people like money, right? You people like money. And like, yeah, haha, we like money. No, I'm the mayor, you dick. And
You're gonna respect me.
and he's like, yeah, I'm gonna do that. And then off camera, Daytak slits his throat with a letter opener, or some kind of small knife.
and has blood on his hands.
No blue knife.
For the
No blue
clean.
knife,
For
yeah.
the clean.
An old-fashioned knife.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We don't see what happens when the soldiers reach the office. So the question I think for next season, I mean, E-Rep is going to be in charge. Does Daytak's mayorship mean diddly squat?
Yes.
At this point, yes.
Absolutely means nothing now.
Or-
They've
Yes, it means diddly squat.
Yes,
Okay.
it means diddly squat, and the fact that it means nothing.
Yeah,
like
I mean, he
that
just-
the Earth Republic took over. And
Yeah.
they made that announcement, and now they're in charge.
He's accused of murder.
Yeah.
So I agree.
and he's
So he's not even a puppet mayor.
Not even a puppet mayor.
No.
Yeah.
I don't think so. I mean, how do they?
It makes no sense. They don't need to because they made that announcement. They're running the town right now.
Well, I mean, they just killed somebody from EREP. I mean, I don't think EREP's going to say we're going to forgive you this, but you have to do what we say. Yeah. No, he's already proven that he gets angered very easily.
I know. I'm just remembering season 3 of Battlestar Galactica, where like they kept Gaius Baltar as puppet, ruler. Whatever, but yeah, that's right. Because
they made the announcement, that's where it made it seem like if they didn't make that announcement, I would have thought there's a chance he's still kind of the puppet. But when they said it's the Republic, we're taking over now.
But how interesting that you got Stahma killing Kenya, and then her husband killing Colonel Marsh, at the same time practically.
But I think the question.
They're made for
yes,
each
they
other.
are. That's what I'm saying. Their evilness knows no bounds. But I think the question is like, but what happens to Daytalk now?
I think he's in an internment camp, and when we come upon him, he is gaunt. He is angry. He's pushed against the wall, And when he finds his moment, he's gonna seize it, and it's gonna be awesome. And he eventually becomes a force for good, but it's a strained relationship. And then everyone's waiting for him to dig the knife into everyone's backs, and he totally will.
So wait, here's an interesting question then. So
yeah,
are we on his side? Because we were cheering when he killed Colonel Marsh, but he still is a dick.
Oh yeah.
Yes, but I do think like kind of what you were saying, like as we go into the next season, there's a good opportunity for all these people that had these.
Do you
to work
really think
together.
Daytalk's gonna all of a sudden be a good guy?
I'm not saying he's a good guy, but they're gonna work together. Everyone's gonna work together because they have a common enemy now of the Earth Republic. So now people they're gonna try to work together in their own offhanded
until Daytalk becomes a dick again. He'll stop being a dick for a little bit. I just like saying that word for some reason.
I think he always will
be. He just wants to keep
dicking.
Yeah.
He will be, but there'll be a common cause to keep all these people of different, backgrounds to be working together here for a common cause because they have a common enemy.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm going with too, kind of what you're saying.
Yeah. Well, they said in the promo for next season, like it's a new world, new rules, but next season we're gonna break all the rules.
Even the Castafan ones.
Exactly.
Castafan law thrown out the window.
Castafan law can go screw. We're putting poison on everything. Next season.
Needs a little more poison in this.
Yes. Next season, the poison is in the episode. Oh yeah.
Oh boy.
Yeah. So I think Daytalk's in jail, Stahma in jail. Yeah.
Stahma. Well, you know what? No one really knows what happened to Kenya. She doesn't have to fess up. They don't have a body.
That's true.
That's probably not in jail.
But I don't know. Like, because is she going to be in jail because she was in the room when
that's possible.
They came in, and so now they don't know who might have done.
Oh, I mean, there's blood all over. There's blood all over Daytalk.
But she took the knife. Remember, she took the knife out.
What if she?
So what? She takes the fall for it.
She takes the fall because she's a loving wife, and she thinks, no, you need to remain in play. You need to remain in play to further our evil agenda. That's interesting.
Ooh, that is interesting. That makes sense. So Daytalk still becomes mayor. Stahma's in jail.
I don't know if he's going to be mayor, though.
That's kind of what I thought that Daytalk would frame Stahma because he put his bloody hand on her white
and she took the knife.
And her fingerprints are on the knife, so I think he'll frame Stahma.
Oh man, no, seriously. She's gonna be framed, and then he's gonna be working on the outside, and he's gonna be the co-leader of the resistance with Rafe. And then no, but seriously, and it's gonna be really
coming
cool.
Back is where everyone's gonna be working,
and they're all gonna be fighting amongst
but
each other,
together for the common enemy.
Together for the common cause. Guys, how are you not this jazzed? I love when they have to work together because they all hate each other.
I know. That's what's going to be good about it. You have a good setup now.
Yeah. No. Let's touch on Rafe real quick because we didn't really see him much in this episode. No. Amanda loses the election. He drains his drink.
Yeah.
And he goes off to the mines where he is promptly arrested.
Yep.
And he gets shot a couple times, but he'll survive. Docu will patch him up.
Yep.
We never heard from Quentin ever again.
No, because he's still out looking for his mom.
He's out looking.
And Ghost Luke is apparently dead once the
Ghost Luke is
got sent.
with Quentin.
Yeah.
No, I
to
thought it
help
was with
him
the artist.
on his journey.
Oh, okay.
No,
But yeah, he's still on his journey. He had to go. I forget where was he even going? San
I think-
To find his
Francisco
mom.
or something?
To
Yeah,
find
but
his
where
mom.
was it? I don't even remember.
I think it was San Fran.
Yeah.
So it takes a while to get over there. So
Yeah.
he's still on his journey.
That's true. But I would say that Ghost Luke, can we say Ghost Luke was Urzu? Just that was the form that Urzu took when talking to
That's
Quentin?
quite possible. That is
Interesting
quite possible.
theory.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm pretty
Could be.
sure that that's what's up. Is that was Urzu telling him what to do. But yeah, I think we can give Ghost Luke a final salute.
Oh, I hope so.
Yeah.
But I never know. Never
Never
know. He
know.
may sneak back
With
when
the
Quentin comes
artifacts,
back.
yeah, I think he's gone.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Here's another question. So, this ship, we thought at the beginning of the season when we found out, there was something beneath Defiance and there was this whole conspiracy, we thought that this whole thing was going to get teased out over several seasons. And we already know about the ship. We've been in the ship in the first season.
Yeah.
Which is like nuts that they're advancing that plot this far. So I'm wondering, are there more artifacts? And is this ship the end game, or is this ship just the first piece of the puzzle that's going to lead us back to, like how the Pale Wars actually got started when the Votan ships exploded?
I think it's like you're saying the latter. It's going to be the first piece of the puzzle.
Yeah.
But also it makes sense now with that whole cave painting, because if it's 3,000 years old, you're thinking, okay, this is during the caveman type period when those are the type of drawings that they would do. So now that kind of makes more sense, because I kept wondering how that fit in with that whole.
Totally.
So now that at least is answered a little bit more too.
Totally.
But yeah, I think it's just part of the first piece to a larger.
One of the cave paintings we saw, it was of 3 kind of golden figures.
Yeah.
They looked like either feminine or like a little bird-like maybe. I'm wondering, they didn't look like indigenes, whatever
they
they
didn't.
were.
No.
And I'm wondering, are those beings or are those artifacts? More artifacts. Or is it another Votan race that we haven't met yet?
I thought originally it was more artifacts.
Wasn't there an 8th? Oh no, there was the 8th race, but it was gone, right?
Well, the Gulani are made of energy.
Yeah, but
so
we never get to really see them.
yeah, the Gulani are made of energy. We haven't met any of them yet. And the Volge we haven't seen since the pilot, which like I'm almost like that's strange.
That is kind of strange.
Yeah, and I'm wondering, what are the Volge up to? Because I guarantee that the Votanist collective,
They probably have Volge in there.
do they?
I
feel-
would think so.
Yeah, I wonder if the Volge talk. We've only seen them. My point being,
No, I
we've
mean,
only seen them in fighting mode. They're the only Votan race that has existed solely through CGI so far. So they're not going to necessarily be embodied.
Yeah, you're right, and I
think.
think anything's on the table at this point. If they can talk, if they can do whatever,
Yeah.
anything's possible.
I'm wondering if there are any Volge who are civil, who are people, who might become a resident of Defiance. It's an interesting prospect. We've spent so much time learning about these people and advancing this ship plot and the election that we haven't really done tons of world building since the first half of the season. And I'm wondering how we're going to see that expanded in season 2, and I'm very excited about it.
Yeah, same here. No, definitely a lot more chances to explore this.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm just curious too, kind of going back to Irisa, how she's going to fit into all this too, with this new power structure, with the Earth Republic and Defiance. How is her powers now all going to fit into this?
Right. Is she going to be locked up by EREP? What's the extent of her powers? Is she trapped in the ship? Is she the ship? There's a lot of questions that we've left up in the air. The biggest of which, why did the Votans come here 3,000 years ago in the first place?
Yeah.
And why did they bury a weapon here, of all things?
And then and then come back.
Yeah.
Like, what was that? Yeah, I'm very curious about that too. Now that we know it's been 3,000
And
years.
was that their end game to get to the ship?
Yeah. Oh, the reason. Well, they were refugees.
They were refugees. That's true. But
Yeah.
But still, I mean, they were there 3,000 years earlier, and at least some of them, the indigenes, were familiar with this ship.
Yes. The indigenes were familiar with the ship. My hope next season, we're going to get some Votanist collective in there, and they'll be able to give us a nice information dump regarding what the Votans were up to in the days leading up to the evacuation.
And what happens to the Needwant now?
I know.
Yeah. Well,
Anyway.
I think that Amanda Rosewater is going to pick up where her sister left off, only in some respect.
There are some jokes. There's some joke there
Yes.
about politics and prostitutes. There's a
Yes.
lot of jokes
There
right
is
there.
a lot you could go right
If you
there.
Think about it. So
She'll run the business side of things.
Yeah, it's a bar just
She
with
can use her
prostitutes.
political experience
Yeah.
to run the business side of things.
Yeah. Well, I mean, she's sexually liberated. Back in episode 3 when we were talking about group marriage.
sexually liberated.
Yeah.
She is.
Okay.
You know.
Maybe she'll
But hey,
explore more of that in the new season.
now there's
Pick
no
up the torch from Kenya.
now there's no you slept with my sister drama holding Nolan and Amanda back
That's right.
from falling in love.
That's true.
Yay.
But in before, and then she can have a little fun at the Needwant.
Although you have to admit, when Irisa said "I love you" to Nolan, that did.
Felt
It
creepy.
felt creepy.
creepy.
I thought the same thing too. It was just a little much.
creepy.
Yes. I
It
was
was
like, oh.
no, it was like that story that Grant told us when he was here, when he was talking about the fake script pages that
yeah.
Mia Kirshner and Stephanie Leonidas wrote about how they totally like have sex in the pilot. It's like I love you
Yeah.
too. They lower out of frame, making out furiously. What?
Okay, well, I'm glad I wasn't the one that thought that moment was a little
No, it
creepy
was,
too.
it was a little creepy.
Well, I mean, he had just held his buck-ass naked daughter against his body.
And he's dying.
Right.
Yes.
So,
Yes.
hey, man, she is adopted.
Okay.
We're not going
Yes,
down
we're
that.
not gonna go down
not
there.
going down
no.
that road.
Yeah.
No. Shall we move on?
Yeah.
Let's,
Yeah. I want to just let's just talk your greatest hopes for next season and your favorite part of this season.
Oh, I got some news too.
Oh yeah, let's do
we gotta
news.
hear the news.
Yeah, we should do some news.
AfterBuzz TV News.
Yeah, so a couple of items. Number one, we've hinted at it. We've talked about it to some of our guests, but Defiance was at Comic-Con last year, and it was a foregone conclusion they'd be there this year. So over the weekend, they announced officially that Defiance will be having a panel next Friday, July 19th at San Diego Comic-Con. And joining the panel will be our buddy, Grant Bowler.
Yeah.
Also, it'll be Julie Benz,
Woo.
Stephanie Leonidas, Tony Curran, Jamie Murray, and Jesse Raff, who plays Alex. So all the Tars. We've got Irisa, we've got Amanda, and we've got Nolan. One name left out, which probably leads us to further speculate that she is no more, is Mia Kirshner. So
Yes.
no
Yeah.
Kenya
Yeah.
is going to be there. Also, Defiance is, if anyone who was down there last year knows that the Hard Rock Cafe got all decked out with Defiance. They had games on every diner counter, and people get to play. So they're doing it again, but apparently it's going to be revamped. It's going to look totally different, totally new and improved.
Is it gonna
So,
look like the Needwant?
You know, it'd be really cool if it
That would be
did.
really
Yeah,
cool.
that
I
would
don't
be-
know if
that'd
they
be
have that
great.
kind of
I
money.
mean, we haven't seen
I
it yet.
know.
There's a picture on Huffington Post. I think they already have the exterior set up. So if you're in San Diego, hey, maybe you want to take a look and see for yourself and see what it is. Also, you might have seen it today. I think they actually showed in the lower thirds when you're watching the finale. But Tryon and SyFy announced Play the Game, join the show. What that means is the top 10, if you have the game and you play the game a lot, this is for you. The top 10 Arc Hunters who complete the most major Arcfall events between July 8th and July 30th on the video game of Defiance, which any big fan knows about the game, will compete for a chance to have their character, their avatar, written onto the show for season 2. So so if you need an excuse to play a video game, there you go. Because
That's
you
a
want to
big
get your
one.
character written on the show.
It's a good
So
excuse to play.
more information is going to be on the Defiance and the Tryon websites, so you can look more for that. But that's our news.
Great.
Yeah,
Good news.
yeah.
Yeah. Really quickly before we do predictions for next season and we wrap up, I just want to mention really quickly. For those of you who are fans of AfterBuzz TV, you've heard this before, but I'm going to say it again. We love putting out these shows for you. You know, doing this whole season has been an awesome experience, and talking with fans has been really amazing. We do this for free, and we at AfterBuzz put out over 60 shows a week. And to do that, we sometimes need your help. Maria Menounos and Kevin Undergaro, who founded AfterBuzz TV, put out a movie this year called The Adventures of Serial Buddies. It's really, really funny. It's a great movie packed with celebrity cameos like Artie Lang and Kathy Lee Gifford, Beth Bears from Two Broke Girls, Christopher Lloyd, Henry Winkler, Christopher McDonald, and a bunch of really funny young LA comedians who are in it. And
They say it's Dumb and Dumber meets Dexter.
Yes,
that's what they compare it to.
It's crazy funny, and it's super dark if you like twisted humor. It is now available on SerialBuddies.com. $4.99 to rent, $5.99 to buy. So
on iTunes, yeah,
and it's also on iTunes. So if you want to get a great movie and support your favorite podcasting station, please check out The Adventures of Serial Buddies, now available online, iTunes and SerialBuddies.com. Now, I want to hear from the two of you what your biggest hope is for next season before we wrap.
Ooh, biggest hope. It's
yes.
like your biggest hopes and dreams.
I know, Scott. Is it Nikki Riordan rises from the grave?
Yes. I know. I want her to come back. See, that's what I'm saying. If she could extend her powers there, with Urzu being the weapon, maybe she could bring Mayor Nikki back, and all the problems would be solved. I could keep dreaming.
Yeah.
But I do kind of look at what we were saying earlier. I do envision that her powers are. It's going to be interesting to see how much she knows when we come back, what she does, and how she uses these powers for good, or is she going to have a bad side to her now?
Yeah.
With these new powers as the weapon. So I'm very curious to see where she goes in this new season. But I do think, like we were saying, we're going to see these factions, everyone in Defiance, working together to rid themselves of this common enemy of the Earth Republic. So it's going to be very interesting fights and things going on between like Daytalk and Amanda and Nolan, and it's going to be very fascinating to see how they want to play those out, as well as again what her power is going to be. So I'm fascinated to see what they do with all that.
Yeah, I'm curious to see what happens to Amanda, because right now she's a person without a job, and what position she's going to play in Defiance.
Leader of the Resistance.
She really has no reason to stay, other than the fact that maybe when she discovers that her sister is missing and possibly dead, maybe that'll be her motivation for season 2 to stay in Defiance and figure out who did it. That would be the only thing I can think of right now. But I definitely would like to see more. I mean, there are so many different races of the Votans that we haven't really seen. I mean, the only ones we really, really know that well are Castafans, the Irafs, and the Indigenes. I mean, we've seen a little bit of the others. We saw a little bit of the Volge, as we mentioned earlier, but we haven't really gotten much detail. So I would like to see some characters, some major
more
characters.
Sensoth characters.
Some more
exactly.
fleshed out a little more.
Yeah, a little more
detail.
fleshed out than just, bartender.
Well, hopefully we will when everyone has to come together.
I think now that we've established this and we've developed some major characters, we could start bringing in new ones. And I really think with E-Rep in charge, that probably gives more reason for the Voltanis Collective to show up, and with that, probably the other Votan races.
Yeah,
which is a good point.
I agree with both of you. Personally, I love the mythology of this show and the world. I just want to see it expanded. I think we're going to get a lot of cool darkness next season. Everything's going to get way more complicated.
Yes, way
I think
darker.
It's ultimately for the better. So I just want to thank everybody at home for a fantastic season
been a fun
of Defiance. Scott Moore, where can the people find you?
The people can find me on the old Twitters at sman80, SMAN80, and here on Sunday nights with True Blood after show.
Oh, awesome. It's still old. Twitter's always old. Every week you say it's the old Twitter. It gets older every week.
And it does. It
just
ages every week, just like you.
You can find
I get younger every week.
Now I feel bad. You can find old me on Twitter at Nandovel. Nandovel.
All right, and you can find me on Twitter at Matt Lieberman. That's MattLieberman. You can also find me here on AfterBuzz TV on the Under the Dome after show. Thank you guys so much for watching. It's been a great season. We'll see you next year.
June 2014.
It's been fun engineering.
Thank you,
Marissa.
Thank you, Marissa.
On the ones and twos all season.
Oh, yeah.
So, no, it's been really fun listening to you guys every week. So.
Oh,
thank you.
Thank you.
Season 2.
We're your biggest
Season 2.
fans.
Yeah, we are.
From Bing.com, executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.